A few days ago, the Congolese rebel group M23 captured the city of Goma in North Kivu. This is a worrying development given that the group is responsible for many atrocities against the Congolese people, including the use of child soldiers, massacres, and sexual assault. What is most interesting is that the rebel group is backed by no other country than Rwanda. This is confusing to many. How can such a small country wreak so much havoc in this region? What are their motives here? To answer that question, we first need to talk about the Kivu conflict. And to talk about the Kivu conflict, we need to talk about the history of Congo and Rwanda. And to talk about the history of Congo and Rwanda, we need to talk about Belgium. The region of the Congo, named after the Congo River, has always been very rich in natural resources. As a result, many European nations wanted to get their hands on it. In 1884, to prevent a European war over colonizing Africa, the Berlin Conference was held between Germany, Austria-Hungary, Spain, Denmark, the United States, France, Britain, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Russia, Sweden, Norway, the Ottoman Empire and, most importantly for us, the International Association of the Congo, IAC for short, created by King Leopold II of Belgium. After the conference, it was decided that the Congo would be awarded not to Belgium, but to Leopold himself. Leopold then created the Congo Free State, a private colony spanning 2 million square miles. In typical European colonial fashion, he brutalized the population in his bid to profit as much as he could from the labor and rubber of Congo. The death toll is not exactly known, but one estimate says that 10 million people died during this period. International pressure forced Belgium to annex the colony from Leopold in 1908, after which it was reconstituted as the Belgian Congo. After the First World War, Belgium also acquired parts of German East Africa, which were named Rwanda-Urundi, comprising the current-day territories of Rwanda and Burundi. During German rule, an ethnic caste system was created with a ruling minority Tutsi class and a majority Hutu class. This continued with Belgian rule, where the system was formalized with the issuing of ethnic identity cards. The rule of the Tutsis was justified with race theory, claiming that Tutsis were more European than Hutus. In 1960, after much agitation from Congolese nationalists, the colony was given independence as the Republic of the Congo, later Democratic Republic of the Congo, led by Patrice Lumumba. Following independence was a 5-year internal conflict, with the involvement of many foreign powers, including Belgium, the UN, the USSR, and the US. To keep things short, the Belgian government and Belgian capitalists backed separatist groups as well as intervening militarily to protect their settlers in the former colony. The UN sent peacekeeping forces that did nothing for the first 2 years, then later aided the Congolese government in putting down separatists. The USSR sent weapons to the government under Lumumba, and the backed pro-Lumumba government based in Stanleyville against the Kasavubu government in Leopoldville. The US backed the Kasavubu government in Leopoldville against the pro-Lumumba government in Stanleyville, after backing a coup against him orchestrated by Army Chief of Staff Joseph Desiré Mobutu. The conflict, which was called the Congo Crisis, ended in 1965 when Mobutu overthrew the Congolese government during a constitutional crisis. From then, Mobutu ruled the Congo as a dictator, destroying any checks on his power and later reconstituting the country as the Republic of Zaire in 1971, of which he was the president. As an anti-communist, he gained support from the US and France, who viewed him as an asset against communism in Africa, helping him solidify his rule. In Rwanda too, colonialism fell in 1962, when the Hutu nationalist Hutu Emancipation Movement Party, Parmehutu, proclaimed an independent Hutu-dominated Rwandan republic, where Tutsis were now regarded as second-class citizens. Hutu rule culminated in the Rwandan Civil War in 1990, when the Tutsi-led Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, invaded Rwanda from their base in Uganda. The Civil War was paused in 1993 following the signing of the Arusha Accords, where the RPF and Rwandan government agreed to a multi-party government which would oversee a democratic transition. This angered the hardline Hutu nationalists. In April of 1994, the president of Rwanda was assassinated. Immediately, Hutu extremists set up a military government, which, with the help of Hutu nationalist militias and civilians, coordinated the genocide of 800,000 Tutsis. The genocide only ended when the RPF finally seized power in July. In the aftermath of the genocide, millions of Rwandans, both Hutu and Tutsi, sought refuge in neighbouring countries, most importantly, the Congo. In the eastern Congo, Hutu extremists, fleeing the consequences of their actions, backed by the Zairian government, continued their campaign of violence against Tutsi refugees. This brought the Tutsis into alliance with the local Banyamulenge. Together with all kinds of anti-Mobutu dissidents, they formed the Alliance of Democratic Forces for the Liberation of Congo, led by Laurent Désiré Kabila. Kabila, with support from many African and non-African states, including Rwanda and Uganda, succeeded in overthrowing Zaire and re-establishing the DRC. In 1998, after a falling out with his former allies, Rwanda and Uganda supported rebels against the Kabila government, and de facto occupied much of the eastern Congo during the Second Congo War. Even after the war ended in 2003, rebel groups in eastern Congo, particularly the Kivu region, have continued to operate. One of these groups is the March 23 movement. The March 23 movement, or M23 for short, appeared first on the scene in 2012, when they launched an offensive against the DRC, capturing the provincial capital of Goma. They were then forced into a ceasefire after the recapture of Goma by the UN-backed DRC. Now, what does the M23 have to do with Rwanda? Well, it is quite obvious to anyone with the slightest bit of knowledge about the group that it is a proxy of the Rwandan army. Rwanda has defended the operation of the group. M23 militants have been spotted with Rwandan weapons, and Rwandan soldiers have even been captured while fighting alongside M23. In effect, M23 is just the Rwandan military operating in the Congo. But then what interests does Rwanda have in the Congo? Why are they backing such a violent group? To put it simply, profit. Remember when I said that the Congo region is very, very rich in natural resources? That is especially true for the Kivu region. This place has lots of minerals, including gold, diamonds, cobalt, and coltan, and Rwanda, and to a lesser extent Uganda, uses M23 to smuggle these resources into their country, where they can then sell it on the international market. In fact, in 2002, Rwanda and Uganda were found to be illegally exporting Congolese conflict minerals. Now, the minerals that Rwanda exports are very important for modern-day capitalist manufacturing. Cobalt and especially coltan are used in many electronic devices like phones, laptops, and computers. In 2013, it was found that Rwanda exported 28% of all coltan produced in the world, raking in a profit of $134.5 million. The coltan Rwanda exports is also of high quality, being rich in tantalum, the most important component of the mineral. The role of Rwanda in the coltan market, as well as other resources, has brought Rwanda some powerful allies, in spite of the atrocities being committed in the Congo right now. In November 2024, the EU gave the Rwanda Defence Force, the military of Rwanda, 20 million euros ostensibly to support its peacekeeping mission in Mozambique. The US has provided around $170 million to Rwanda in aid, which, even though it's not directly given to its military, would still ultimately get to its military eventually. The UK has given Rwanda £1 billion since 1998, only terminating it briefly in 2012 when M23 captured Goma. China gave Rwanda a $60 million grant and a $6 million debt exemption in 2020, and just last year, Rwandan President Paul Kagame met with Xi Jinping to further cooperation between the two countries. In total, Rwanda receives $1 billion in aid from the international community every year, which is absolutely horrendous, knowing what that money is being used for. The whole imperialist world has outsourced their murdering to Rwanda and M23 all for the sake of profit. And all that is being done about it is empty words of aid suspension, just as world leaders did with Israel during the Gaza genocide. Even the ICC, which is built for Africa and thugs like Putin, has done nothing to punish Rwanda's leaders or M23, just as they did nothing for months against Israel. The Congo is bleeding because capitalism needs to fuel its expansion. This war, along with every other war we've experienced these past few decades, is a demonstration of how capitalist imperialism kills people and destroys our planet. The only way to put an end to it is the destruction of the capitalist imperialist system. Just to clarify, this is not supposed to be support for the Congolese government. They too are complicit in their fair share of atrocities. My sympathies lie with the Congolese people, and my animosity is directed towards all capitalist and imperialist states of the world. For now, all that can be done is the education of the working class on the struggles of the Congolese people, so direct action against the imperialist regimes that fund the butchering of the Congo can be taken. Please, spread this video around to anyone you know. For further reading, I have listed all my sources in the description of the video. I encourage you all to never take your eyes off the Congo, just as was encouraged during the Gaza genocide. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have a topic in mind that you would like to talk about, you can comment that too. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe. Bye.